Hello beautiful. So today we are doing a story time. I want to try to make this very clear of how I got backstabbed, betrayed, totally lied to from a ex best friend that I had for 8 years. Well, let's say 6, 7 years, when we were like close and talked, and then a year and a half of when we really didn't talk that much. So I want to start off with the background between me and her. I'm not gonna name names. I'm just gonna name her name Sam. Just go with that. So me and Sam, we were friends for a total of 8 years. To go on from that, we were friends starting sixth grade in middle school, and so we were best friends. She did. She didn't have friends and neither did I, so we were just best friends because we always hung out and did sleepovers and hang out, and that's what we did. So we were friends until my senior year. So once I switched different high schools, we didn't talk that much, and we didn't have a strong connection like we did in middle school. So different cities, different schools, and it was still in the same district, but we just didn't have the same connection as we did in middle school. So going into high school, I found my own friends, she found her own friends, and we just went on from that. But we were still kind of talking. Then 10th grade came in, and we didn't talk that much because I had a boyfriend at the time, and I just kind of drew myself away from her and then me having my boyfriend. So after that, after I left him, we talked again. This was around 11th grade, and barely talked. We still talked, but it wasn't like best friends. Usually talk like every day, and it wasn't like that. It was like maybe 3 times a month. It wasn't like a lot. So 12th grade came around, and we talked like just normal. Nothing came up until I went to go fly over to my brother's where well at my brother's house in Texas, and I don't know what happened that day. I just texted her this really, really long message. I wish I had pictures. And I just told her how I felt about the relationship and how she was going to blackmail me about my secret, and I think that was just really, really messed up. Now, when me and her talked about this, she had no idea about it, and when I was at my brother's house, she had no idea what I was talking about. She has a like chronic disease, so she just really I don't know if she just was acting dumb or was just didn't remember because of the disease. So I just left it alone. I told her I don't want to be friends because how you are going to blackmail me and we don't talk, and if it's going to be that way, then we're just not going to be friends. So about a year later, I texted her about, it was like 8 months to a year after what happened, and I texted her and I said, hey, it was about a year. Yeah, it was about a year that we didn't talk. I texted her and I said, hey, and she's like, I don't want to be the person that's like going to be like talking shit about this person, because just the way she talked when I just said, hey, how are you doing? She just like kind of like a really bitchy mood. And she's done that a couple of times when I tried to talk to her, even when just we weren't friends. And she said like, hi. And I'm like, hi, how are you doing? Just normal talk, just normal adult talk. And just, she's not an adult. She's more in the high school stage. She's not to the point where she needs to be an adult. So, we, so I texted her, I said hi, she said hi. I said, how are you doing? She said, fine. And I'm like, okay. And then, so I just said, I'm sorry for what I said. I didn't know what happened, and I'm sorry about what I said. And so, moving on from this, we were friends. I told her before this all happened, I said, hey, like, I would like to be friends with you again, but it's up to you. If you don't want to be friends with me, that is fine. Just let me know. So she said, yeah, we'll be friends. We'll just start from fresh and all this. 3-4 months later, we kind of talked here and there. Wasn't like best friends that I wanted. And, so 3-4 months go by, and I still have these messages on my messenger and on Facebook where we talked, and this just it totally blows my mind. I don't get how a person can be this way, and just the way she just did this was just totally wrong. What happened was, this was about a month ago what happened, and what happened was I messaged her many times over a month. I mean, this is over a month, and usually if you have an iPhone, what happens is when you send a message, it turns blue and it says message delivered or whatever it says. It says delivered on the bottom. Over a month of time, I let it go. I just texted her. I said, hey, what are you doing? How are you? Now, this is over a month period. Texting her 3-4 times a week and not getting one reply. So this was after a month. I even told my boyfriend about it, and he said, you know what, if that's her thing, if she doesn't want to be friends with you or doesn't want to talk with you, that is her problem. That is not your fault. You're not doing anything. You're not being a bitchy person. You're not doing anything towards her. That is her own fault. And I said, okay. And I told my boyfriend, I told him, I'm like, I don't even know, like, what happened. I mean, I thought that her, like, she changed phone numbers, or she doesn't have her phone because she got in trouble, or because she still lives with her mom. So, I tried calling her. She wouldn't answer, so I left a message and on the voice call, and I said, hey, this is Desiree, please call me back when you get this message, whenever you get it. So a week goes by and I still didn't hear anything, still replying, and I just, it was starting to get really frustrated because it's like, okay, it's been a month and why aren't you replying? So I called her mom, made sure it was her right phone number and it was her in a voicemail, and I said, hey, this is Desiree. I haven't been able to reach her at all. She doesn't answer my calls. She doesn't answer my texts. She doesn't answer my FaceTimes, and I don't know if her phone's like taken away from, if she got in trouble, or if she just doesn't have a phone, or some reason. So I just waiting. Usually, her mom usually replies back if she's like at work or home or whatever. So 3-4 days go by, and I'm like, okay, I didn't even get a call back. So I'm like, okay then. So I let that alone, and I text her on Messenger because I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to get a contact from her some way. So I clicked on her, and then I messaged her, and I said, hey. And she's like, hey. And I'm like, okay, she gets my message, but why can't she reply? So I said, hey, I've sent you a bunch of messages and calls, and you haven't replied. Now, the next text she sends gets me frustrated the later time we talked. She said, I didn't get any. I said, weird, because I tried calling you and text you and FaceTimed you and you won't reply. She said, well, I haven't gotten anything. I let that go because, you know, things happen with phones. Something happens between texts and it just sometimes disappears. It happens all the time. So I'm like, hey, whatever. And then I said, hey, text me. And then she's all like, I don't have your phone number. Well, I should have already knew. Red flag. If she had your phone number and she doesn't have it now, red flag. Like, I didn't think of it. So I said, here. And then I said, text me. And then I gave her my phone number. She texted me, and she said hi. And I text hi, and it went the green message again. And I'm like, I was just like frustrated. And then after I said hi, she didn't even say, how are you doing? What are you doing? What you up to? Like, how's school? Nothing. I didn't get one message after hi. And a couple days went by, so this is like a month and a half after waiting and waiting. Text her again on the phone, didn't get anything, so then I texted her on Facebook. And so I said, hey, one thing I want to tell you guys is that, so before we were friends, we were FaceTiming, and I said, hey, can I FaceTime you? And she's like, sure. And so I FaceTimed her, and we were talking. And what I think was a little bit messed up between me and Sam and her whatever best friend that she has, she's like, oh yeah, me and I don't even know what her name was, are best friends just like we were. And in my head, I'm like,
bitch, no you just didn't.
I was like, I can't believe you just said that to my face. Especially when she saw my face and I saw her face, and she just told me,
me and whatever were best friends just like we were.
And I was like, I didn't even say anything. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I didn't make a big deal, but I was like, wow, that was just like a total bitch move. I was like, wow. I'm like, whatever. So we talked the rest, and then moving on from what happened a month ago. So I say, hey. She said, hi. I said, I keep on texting you, but you don't reply, or some way I am blocked. I said blocked on your phone, and then I tried FaceTiming you, but nothing. Next text I get blew my mind, because after she said this, I was pissed. She said, yeah, you kind of are. How am I supposed to know? How was I supposed to know that you blocked me and didn't even tell me anything? I said, okay, why didn't you tell me this before when I told you that I constantly texted you? And you said you never got them. I don't get that. If you didn't want to be friends with me, why didn't you just tell me? Say, hey, I don't want to be friends. Keep it real honest with me, because that's how it's going to be. I said, I constantly texted you and you never got them. Now, I hate when a person tells me this and says, because. Don't tell me because there's a simple reason why you don't want to be friends with me, or some stupid reason. I say, because why? Because I honestly want to know why you blocked me, why you don't want to be friends with me, because you don't talk to me, because you don't text me, because you don't call me, because you don't FaceTime me. I get nothing from this person, and yet I put a bunch of effort into this relationship, and you know what I get? Zippo. Because she's a total, I'm just gonna stop there. She's a total A. So after I said because why, she said reasons. And you told me that if I didn't want to be friends, I didn't have to. Okay, I totally understand when I said I didn't, like, you don't have to be friends with me if you don't want to. I get that. But if you don't tell me, how am I supposed to know? I said, okay, I'm confused. We agreed to be friends, and then I get blocked. A good thing, if you didn't want to be friends with someone, was to at least tell them. It shows some consideration. Now, back then, we had a rough relationship between me and her in middle school, because I constantly went through the stage of being friends with Sam, being friends with not Sam. It was constantly like that. But it's like, it was 8 years ago. You're really holding on to something. She said, well, I'm sorry, but I just don't think it's worth it. I know that we have been through a lot, and you probably did change, but I still will always have those memories of what happened in middle school that will never go away. When I got that, I was just like, one, you showed no consideration of telling me anything. If you didn't want to be friends in the first place, why'd you agree to be friends? So the last text I sent her, and I said, well, I just want to say, I hope you'll get everything in life. Have a happy life. Bye. And it's just like, you would think that the person would say, oh, I hope you have a whatever, have a happy day or something. She just says, you too. It's just like, after that, I was pissed. I was like so irritated for the whole day. Well, it was nighttime when this happened, and I was just like kind of done. If you did this to me, I could just imagine how you would be to your own family, to your own friends, and to your own self. Because it's just like, it just blows my mind. Because it's just like, how can you treat someone like this and not tell them anything? I really hate that. It sucks because I trusted this person. I put my whole effort into this relationship, and she didn't do one bit of effort. She didn't even do anything for saying hi. That is just how Sam is. So that is my story time on how I got betrayed. I was stepped on. I was lied to. I was backstabbed. Yeah. So thank you so much for watching this story time and letting you guys know how I got backstabbed, lied to, betrayed, and all these other things. So, I'm glad at this point that me and her aren't friends anymore. It just frustrates me because it's just like, she just did like a really bitchy move. And it's just like, why? Like, why would you do that? But But you know what? That's how she is. I just wouldn't do that to a person. I would just really be honest with them. And that's how I would do it. So, thank you guys so much for watching this story time. And yeah, so now you know how this person treated me like shit. And, yeah, so that is all for today. And thank you guys so much for watching this story time. And please give me a like and subscribe and comment down below. And yeah, it's really free, and just subscribe to me and like and comment down below. And that's about it for the video. So thank you guys so much for watching for today's story time. It's my first story time of the year. And yeah, so thank you guys so much for watching. And again, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!